Today I'm making an absolute classic custard tart. It's got a lovely silky smooth filling, hint of nutmeg, and it's all wrapped in a lovely crisp buttery pastry. This one is a proper nostalgic bake. Definitely the kind of dessert you'd see in a bakery window or at your nan's house on a Sunday afternoon. It's simple, it's comforting, and when done right, it is very, very delicious. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. If you've clicked on the thumbnail hoping to see someone making some sweet pastry, you've come to the wrong place. I am not a baker. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've made a dessert on the channel. And I always go the easy route. I go for shop bought, ready rolled. Why make my life any harder? So here I've got some normal short crust pastry. I couldn't find any sweet crust pastry anywhere. I don't know if they still sell it or not. Just Roll used to do it. And I bought this one, which is a Tesco's one, because I often get asked when I've used pastry before which one I've used. So today I'm using a Tesco one, and that's all they had. It's like an extra large one, so I'll have loads left over. So just roll this out, taking it out of the fridge, let it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes, as per the pack instructions. And to sweeten it up a little bit, I've just got some granulated sugar. So I'm going to grab some of that and just liberally sort of spread it around just to get that sweetness injected into our pastry. And here I've got some nutmeg. I like to add some nutmeg to this pastry also. So just give it one of these microplanes. Just give it a grate around. I love that smell. Love nutmeg. So good. If you haven't got the whole nutmeg like that, just use the powdered version that you can buy from any supermarket. And there we go. That's that. Here I've got a rolling pin, obviously, and I'm just going to extend this out a little bit so that it fits around our tin. At this point, you want to make sure your oven's on, and you want to set the oven to 180C fan, because we're going to blind bake this first. That's it. And look, you get that lovely speckled effect from the nutmeg and obviously the sugar as well. I think that's probably us done there. Okay, I've got here a removable base tin. That's a 22 centimeter tin. All I've done is I've lightly greased it with a little bit of butter. So let's just move our pastry and we'll take it off our paper. This is where it all goes horribly wrong for me with pastry. That's it. There it is. In there. Christ, I've got loads of the stuff. And just feed it in so that you've got it nicely down into the corners of your tin. Just work it in. That's it. We're pretty much there. Get rid of some of that slack. And that's it. Just hang it over. Don't worry about trimming it up yet. We will trim that up in a little while. Use the little gift that came with our pastry just to protect that base. We're going to fill it up with some of these ceramic baking beans. Got a tub of them here. These are my wife's, but my son's been using them clearly because I've only got a few left. He's doing cooking at GCSE level at the moment, borrows loads of stuff, and I think he must throw them in the bin when he's finished baking with them. If you don't have these, just use rice. Shut those in. Hopefully I've got enough to do the job. And that is now going to go on a baking tray. Put it on there. There we go. Just pull out any bits. Make sure they're not underneath your tin. That's now going to go into the oven at the 180C fan for 25 minutes. It may take slightly longer. I want this to be quite well done before I put the filling in. So if you're cooking it at home, just make sure you check it before you bring it out of the oven. Okay, so our pie crust has just come out of the oven. It may need a little bit longer. Mine actually took 28 minutes. Just depends on how quick or how slow your oven cooks, to be fair. But you want it to have a nice crispy base before we put this filling in. Anyway, let's crack on with that filling. Here, I've got whipping cream. Get it from most major supermarkets, and I'm using 600 millilitres. And that's all going into a saucepan. And I want to bring that up to a simmer. While that's doing its job, we'll crack on with the rest of it, which are eggs. Now, 8 egg yolks. Yes, you heard right, 8 egg yolks in this recipe, and they're going to go straight into a bowl, and they're large egg yolks. To that, I like to add a little bit of vanilla essence or extract, whatever you have, just a dash, not too much. It's quite powerful stuff, so go easy on it. And then to that, 75 grams of granulated sugar, all in the mix. And we're just going to give that a good whisk around. Okay, our whipping cream's come to a simmer, and that's going to go straight into our egg mixture. Give that a good stir in. And then what you want is I use anyway, a jug and a sieve. What we want to do is just strain this mixture so that we've got no lumps and bits and bobs going into our tart. So I just do it this way and it works really well. That's it. Okay. And then what you'll find when you do this stage, you're going to get little bubbles forming on the top, like a foam almost. So you just want to skim that with a spoon. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about there. Try and keep my hands out of the way. Just this sort of foamy stuff. You don't want that in there. That's it. We are done. Let's get our pastry case. Now at this stage, you want to turn your oven down to 120C fan. You don't want scrambled eggs, yeah? This is going to cook quite slowly. Get your mixture straight into your case. If you did have any sort of little holes or tears in your pastry at this stage, you could patch them up. It'll be fine. That's it. In with our mix. I'll tell you what, 2 things. One is, if you don't like pastry or you don't want the pastry, use that mix and put it into little ramekins. Put it in the oven at 120C fan for the 35 minutes, and they are amazing. Just little custard pots. Oh, reminds me of when I was younger, you used to get those custards with the skin on the top. Oh, and rice pudding. Very similar. And the other thing was, I just was thinking about this. The last time I actually made this recipe was for my grandmother. God bless her. She's no longer with us, unfortunately. And I used to always say to her, what do you want, Nan? Do you want me to cook you something? She'd go, oh, yeah, please, make me that custard tart. Honestly, every time. And I would make it for her, and she would absolutely demolish this. So this one's for you, Nan. Okay. Our nutmeg, and I'm just going to grate a little bit more over the top. As a matter of fact, quite a bit. I love the nutmeg. So, and also it gives it that look. You know, when you see those custard tarts in the shops and stuff, I think that colour it gives when it goes that sort of golden brown on the top, as well as the flavour, obviously, just delightful. That's it, plenty of it. Get it in there, come on. That's it. That looks pretty good to me. Plenty on there. Okay, and as I say, 120C fan now, and that's going to go for 35 minutes. What you're looking for with this is it to have like a jelly-like wobble. It's just going to be holding up on itself. If you want it slightly more done, then leave it a little bit longer than 35 minutes. The only thing I will say is once this cools down, and if you don't eat it, you probably will, all on the same day, and you'll refrigerate it overnight, the next day it does firm up just a touch more as well. So I like it just, as I say, so it's got a really nice wobble or jelly-like wobble. So I'll see you shortly when we pull it out of the oven. So custard tart is now done. It did take the 35 minutes in my oven, and I just want to show you what I mean about the wobble. Hopefully you can see that it's still got that lovely custardy wobble, and that's what you're looking for. And this is best served at room temperature, so I'm going to let it sit before I take it out of the case, trim it up nicely, and then we can give it a try. And there we have it, my custard tart. Looks wonderful. I'm really pleased with it. I took it out of the case. I just trimmed it up with this sharp knife here just to give it a clean edge. Did get a little bit of a breakage here, but you know, what can you say? It's homemade, yeah? So let's take a little slice. I've got a little cake slice here. And I'm just going to go in here. Oh, it's got such a great wobble on it. Really has. And then Move that round. Try not to break my pastry. A little bit there, that's fine. Okay, I'll slice here. And let's just get that piece out, get it on our plate. Look at that wobble, look at that. Just use a knife here, just to fish it off there. And that's what I was talking about, look at that. It's like jelly. Wonderful. So let's give it a try. What I love is this is just set, it just ever so set, just enough to hold itself up on its own. Look, still wobbling away, it's like a nice jelly. That is unbelievable. It is like, I go as far as to say, and I'll really put my neck on the line here, I'd say that is the best custard tart I've ever tried. And I've tried a few of them. This is absolutely delightful. I'm lost for words for once. Put it this way, I think my nan would be very proud of that. Absolutely she would, without a doubt. And guys, you saw how quick this was to make, limited ingredients. Just make sure that you do rest it, let it go to room temperature. And this is absolutely fine in the fridge. It will last up to about 3 days and it will firm up slightly, but not too much. You'll still get that lovely, soft, silky centre. If you're a custard lover, this needs to be part of your repertoire without a doubt. It is insanely good. Trust me. Guys, I really do appreciate you tuning in and watching through to the very, very end. If you like the content, please do consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below. Please also press all the other buttons, like, share, and also the notification bell so you know when I'm posting another recipe. You'll be alerted. If you've got something you'd like me to cook, let me know down in the comments and I will try my best to recreate it for you. I'll put all of the details of today's custard tart down below in the description as always. And all that's left for me to say is until next time, it's cooking good.